Hello and thanks for checking out ChartGuys.com. We're proud to be one of the most successful technical analysis communities online, teaching you the skills to become a more confident, effective, and informed trader. Join our community of hundreds of analysts worldwide working together to learn the charts, generate profit, and achieve financial independence. Sign up for a 1-week free trial, no credit card required, for access to daily live chart analysis and market coverage, a thriving chat community, along with dozens of hours of exclusive educational materials. We look forward to seeing you. Let's check out some charts. Checking in on natural gas. So looking at the weekly time frame, just a perspective of where we are longer term, we had a overall downtrend for a very long time, years at this point. And we saw a nice bounce play out, an oversold bounce from all of 2000, really most of 2016, and then the start of 2017. But we lost that uptrend. We had our high, we pulled back, kept the higher lows, then we formed our lower high, and now our lower low. We broke the higher low pattern, and that has shifted momentum. So we can now anticipate lower highs and lower lows to begin forming. You can see the back test of this uptrend resistance line. It was support. Now it's resistance. We've rejected 3 times, and the bears have remained in control. We can see the volume is certainly picking up here, but overall, the long term, that break of support was definitely a big red flag for the bulls. And you can see ever since we broke that level, all of these rejections from that uptrend previous support line acting as resistance, very consistently rejecting. So in order for the bulls to change this trend on the daily time frame, a little bit more zoomed in terms of time frame and perspective, we have a little bit of a double top at 312.7 and 312.2. So that level has to break. And the move we saw this past week was just another lower high at 305.3. The bulls are trying to form a higher low now with Friday's action at 2928. They have to see follow through, break 305.3, and then ideally break 312.7 in order for the bulls to have any hope of turning this trend around. If we do not break 312.7, the bears remain in control indefinitely. That is the level that is a must break for me to be looking in the other direction to start looking at the bulls. Otherwise, just anticipating every bounce is going to be short term and a lower high. So where that leaves us on UNG is in a clear downtrend of lower highs and lower lows. And the higher low that is trying to be established is at 660. In order to see continuation, we have to break 682, and the major level for me is 698. Break 698, and then we can start looking at the bulls again to try and shift this trend back in their favor. But anything under 698 is just another lower high, keeping those bears in control. The weekly time frame showing since 2017 started, it's been a downtrend of lower highs and lower lows. We had the lowest close in the past couple of years here, just last week, and you can see these exponential resistances are rejecting the price. So whenever I'm looking at exponential resistances on any time frame, whichever, if it's acting as resistance, that's definitely keeping the bears in full control. That's my guideline to know who has complete control. And if exponential moving average are resistance, the bears have complete control, and if they're support, the bulls have control. So as of right now, we have rejected 3 weeks in a row from testing these exponential resistances, trying to get back over them, obviously unsuccessfully. So have to keep in mind that these commodities are seeing a lot of weakness over the past couple of months where they have broken their uptrends. Most of them were in a clear downtrend in 2016, and then in 2017 we saw a nice solid bounce take place, and now we are breaking the higher lows from that bounce, and we're resuming the longer term multiple year downtrend unless the bulls can really recover. The sooner the better, because they are slipping and taking out some key support levels. So I have a pretty bearish sentiment on all the commodities at this point, and this is all occurring with a strong dollar, or a weak dollar I should say. The dollar has been in a downtrend on the daily time frame all of 2017. So the fact that the commodities are not performing better due to that fact is a red flag, because if the dollar does begin to bounce a little bit more substantially, these commodities are only going to see more resistance and more pain for the bulls, really. So I am skeptical of the commodity strength, taking out key supports in both oil and natural gas fairly recently. Longer term on the weekly time frame was a big red flag. And I'm in a scenario now where the bulls have to prove to me that they're showing back up and regaining this trend. I'm not going to give the bulls any benefit of the doubt. They lost that benefit of the doubt once they lost that uptrend support line on the weekly time frame. So bears in control. Bulls have to prove that they're changing the trend, and they're not doing that yet. I appreciate you watching. We'll check back in soon. Have a great rest of your weekend.